Well, hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday morning at Mountain Vista UU congregation. I am so pleased and thrilled and excited to see you all here this morning. Our lovely room full of people, our lovely Zoom room full of people, and our lovely YouTube channel full of people. No matter where or when you are watching us, no matter when you are with us, no matter where you are with us, we are glad you are here and you are in exactly the right place you need to be today. We've got a great program this morning. I'll tell you more about it as we get on with it. Our settled minister, the Reverend Matthew Funk Crary, is out of town this weekend. He's off at a minister's retreat, so he's going to bring us back all kinds of interesting and exciting stuff in the weeks to come, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Today's theme, sorry, just paranoid double-checking my phone. You think it's bad when a phone goes off out there. That goes for you, choir, too. Double check. Reverend Matthew's away this week. I said that already. We are summing up a month full of love. The various kinds of love, the various types of love, the way people feel and share and give and receive love. And Matthew said to me, "You've got the last Sunday of the month. What are you going to do with it?" And I was kind of clueless until I thought, well, I have songs. Love songs. So we have a wonderful program this morning, a wonderful service this morning put together with the help of several very good friends and the choir and a lot of wonderful people, all about love songs. And I'm going to start off this morning with a beautiful one by Ray Noble from 1934. I sometimes think of this as my own ADHD love song. The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do. The idea that a thought of your love can derail all other thoughts. 1934, but yet it also sounds really prescient today. The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do. I'm living in a kind of daydream. I'm happy as a king, and foolish though it may seem to me, that's everything. The mere idea of you, the longing here for you. You'll never know how slow the moment goes till I can be near to you. I see your face in every flower, your eyes so warm above. It's just the thought of you. The very thought of you, my love. I see your face in every flower, your eyes so warm above. It's just the thought of you. the very thought of you, my love. Thank you. As I said, a service all about love songs. But as always, none of this happens, none of this is in any way, shape, or form a one-man show. I do wish to thank Reverend Matthew for his help in putting all this together. I also want to thank Alex, our pastoral associate this morning, also my boyfriend, so it works out well in terms of the whole love story thing. I always want to thank Joel, who is not only our song leader, but he's also singing a few things this morning, other than just our normal songs. Sally is, where is she? I saw her there a moment ago. There you are. She is helping with our pastoral care committee. I want to thank Lee and Alex, who's also doing double duty this morning, Dan, Chuck, Ann Tatum, and Ann Moser, who are all helping bring us sound this morning. And also another thanks to Joel for helping in the kitchen, helping coordinate all of the wonderful hospitality things. So there'll be a warm cup of coffee and a few nibbly bits after the service. And I hope you could stick around and say good morning with all of us. Alex has our chalice lighting this morning.
Good morning, everyone. So this is Love Remains the Center by Eric Hepburn. We light this flame to remind us love is the center. As we grow and connect, mature and deepen, love remains the center. When the light of truth burns all else away, love remains.
And how better to start a service on love than if you would stand as you are able with us and join in singing Spirit of Life. Let's sing it a second time, though. We'll sing it the first time the way we know it, Spirit of Life. Second time, let's sing Spirit of Love. It's 123 in the gray hymnal, if you feel so inclined, and or, of course, as always, the words will be on the screens.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Spirit of love, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the fears of compassion.
Every week, we stop to take a moment and remember people around us and remember the community that we are in and remember all the people. And many of our people have celebrations, and many of our people have concerns, and many of our people have deep sorrows on their hearts to bear. We pour out water collected from our homes, our beautiful home here in the Sonoran Desert, the wonderful skies that do occasionally give us rain, and from our various homes and places around the country and our travels around the world. And into that water we place stones, celebrating the wonderful milestones, remembering and sending healing for those who need healing, and remembering the lives of all of those who have touched us at various times throughout our lives and our experiences here together as a community. Sally, we have a few specific people to mention this morning.
We do. We have several concerns this morning. Julie Olson's husband, Nick, is having spinal surgery this coming Tuesday at St. Joseph's Hospital. It's a lengthy surgery with the goal of stopping further deterioration of his spinal cord, a significant goal not without risk. Prayers for a successful procedure and recovery, as well as comfort and care leading up to and through the surgery would be welcome. And I'm going to put rocks in for that. Kim Lager asked for continued trust and healing for Dylan's GI health as he shows more signs of a bleed. In the midst of his ongoing health concerns, we celebrate his continued connection with people through spelling. He transcribed and sent his first letter to a friend. Thank you. And Christiane and Melva want to express their appreciation for all who have sent them meals, brought them meals being delivered. Christiane's eye surgery will be sometime within the next 2 weeks, as soon as the doctors feels like it's safe to do so.
And for these people, and for all the concerns, and for all the health, and for all the wellness, and for everybody in our community, more stones. And for all those things that remain unsaid, sorrows, concerns, as well as joys and celebrations, and so many things in the little parts of life. We add those and remember. Thank you. So, a program about love songs. Come on up. I asked Deb and the group, occasionally known as the UU4X or U4X, to be a part of this, and they originally brought a song that I was looking forward to hear, but they changed their minds and brought us one that I think is even better. They were going to sing Paul McCartney's Silly Love Songs, which of course, how else? That would be a lovely beginning of this. Then they changed their mind, especially after last week when Maria used a part of this song in part of her chalice extinguishing last week, and these guys said, well, we can sing that song. 1967, the Beatles, hot on the heels of Sgt. Pepper, All You Need Is Love.
I have great memories of this song. When it came out, it played every single day, many, many times on the radio. And I was 17, and my buddies were all 18, so they could drive. And we would drive out. I lived in New York City. We'd drive out to Long Island to play golf. And then we turned the radio on, and we were just in ecstasy when that song came on. So here it comes.
love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. Nothing you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Nothing you can know that can't be known. Nothing you can see that can't be shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. All you need is love.
All together now.
All you need is love.
Everybody.
All you need is love, love. Love is all you need.
Love is
All you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Yeah.
1838, Vincenzo Bellini writes a song that becomes one of the first hits of its time nearly 200 years ago. It's called Vaga Luna, which basically, it's in Italian, of course. It's a lover talking to the moon. The moon, of course, who alone witnesses his ardent desire, and he entreats the moon to go and tell his beloved of his love for her and his desire for a future to be spent with her. I didn't manage to get the translation on the screen, but lovely moon, you who shed silver light on these shores and on these flowers and breathe the language of love to the elements, you are now the sole witness of my ardent longing and can recount my throbs and sighs to her who fills me with love. Tell her that day and night I count the hours of sorrow, that a flattering hope comforts me in my love. Actually, very similar to the first song I sang this morning, except not in Italian and without the moon.
Vaga luna che in argenti questi rive, questi fiori, ed ispiri agli elementi sentimenti, il linguaggio dell'amor. Testimonio sei tu sola del mio fervido desir, ed a lei che mi innamora, con tai palpiti, i palpiti e sospir, ed a lei che mi innamora, con tai palpiti e sospir, ed a lei che mi innamora, con tai palpiti e sospir, e sospir, e sospir. Dile pur che lontananza il mio dol non può lenir, che se nutro n'esperanza, ell'hai sol, sì, ell'hai sol nell'avvenir. Dile pur che giorno e sera, con dolore del dolor, che una speme spendinghiera mi conforta nell'amor. Una speme lusinghiera mi conforta nell'amor, che una speme lusinghiera mi conforta nell'amor, nell'amor,
Like I said, all over the map historically. This next one from a 1946 film called Three Little Girls in Blue. I've never heard of it before either. But most famously recently sung by Michael Bublé, although it's been done by several people. I find it ironic that the name of the song is You Make Me Feel So Young, and Mr. Bublé recorded it when he was in his 20s. Anyway, lovely song. Come on, where are you? There you are.
You make me feel so young. You make me feel like spring has sprung. And every time I see you grin, I'm such a happy individual the moment that you speak. I want to go play hide and seek. I want to go and bounce the moon just like a toy balloon. You and I are just like a couple of tots running across a meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung and bells to be rung and a wonderful fling to be flung.
like a couple of tots running across that meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung. And even when I'm old and gray, I'm gonna feel the way I do today. 'Cause you make me feel so young. You make me feel so young. You make me feel so young. I love that.
We're going to call Joel back up, a song from 1979, and a band called Queen, and a song written by Freddie Mercury as sort of a tribute to Elvis Presley and Cliff Richards. Supposedly, he wrote this song in about 10 minutes. He swears it was true, but who knows? Freddie Mercury's song, Queen's first Billboard #1 single in the US in 1980. Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
I will not be doing the moves. Oh, this thing called love, well, I just can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get around to it. I ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love. With this thing called love, it cries in the cradle all night. It swings, it chimes, it shakes all over like a jellyfish. I kinda like it. A crazy little thing called love. There goes my baby. She knows how to rock and roll. She drives me crazy. She leaves me hot and cold fever. She leaves me in a cool, cool sweat. I gotta be cool, relax. I get hip, I get on my tracks. Take a back seat, hitchhike, and take a long, long ride on a motorbike until I'm ready. A crazy little thing called love. I gotta be cool, I relax, I get hip, I get on my tracks, take a back seat, hitchhike, to take a little longer ride on my motorbike until I'm ready. A crazy little thing called love. This thing called love, I just can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get around to it. I ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love. 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 Crazy little thing called love.
Well, speaking of contrasts and whiplash, that was wonderful, Joel. We talk about love, we talk about different kinds of love, and we talk about love for community and for our romantic partners. We often, though, forget to take a time and look in the mirror and say, I love you, and to deal with that kind of self-love. We sang this song a couple weeks ago, and it proved to be so touching for me, and a few other people told me as well. But beautiful song, Libby Roderick, how could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? So again, we're going to sing it 3 times. Once, look around the room and sing it to this beautiful community. Second time, in the spirit of love, sing it to your beloved, whether they're here or not. Third time around, sing it to yourself. It's in our Teal hymnal, Singing the Journey, and it's number 1053, and of course, it will also be on the screen. Would you rise with us and sing with us?
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Thank you. In undergraduate school, I had a professor, Dr. Irving Gott, G-O-D-T. Born and raised around the first part of the last century in that lovely Jewish enclave of Brooklyn. Dr. Gott was the reigning curmudgeon of the music department. He taught music history to freshmen and sophomores in exchange for a paycheck and the time and space to be left alone to pursue his own research and book projects. He was tough, but he was fair, and most of the students hated him for his refusal to compromise in the classroom. If you did the reading and the listening, it's a music history class, of course, after all. If you did the reading and the listening and spent some actual time engaging with the subject matter, you'd do very well with him. But if you came in expecting an easy A just for showing up, you would be bitterly disappointed. You can imagine he was one of my favorite college instructors. We got to be friends a little later when he hired me for a cataloging project related to one of his outside jobs. It was developing the first digital, but not yet online, it was still the middle 80s, catalog of musical scores in the complete editions of composers' works. So usually around the second class of freshman music history, Dr. Gott would walk in and declare, "Romantic love and the love song was an invention, invented in the middle of the 12th century in southern France." And a lot of the curious looks I see around the room right now are the same looks that most college freshmen gave him. They were like, wait a minute, what? Love has always been a part. There's always been love and romance, right? There's always been love songs. It's part of the human condition. Well, no, not really. We've certainly had the emotion of love as part of the human condition from the beginning, but romantic love is the driver of marriage, family, love songs, and the rest of our lives is a comparatively recent thing in the grand scheme of human history. In the 12th century, in southern France, in and around present-day Provence, the Occitan region it's also known as sometimes, the knights and courtiers around Eleanor of Aquitaine developed a flowery style of poetry and song presented by self-styled troubadours, or trouveurs, in medieval French. And this is where so much of our headcanon about knights and maidens and chivalrous behavior and all that stuff, this is where it comes from. These proto-love songs usually took the form of a knight or other courtier, almost always male, developing intense feelings of attraction and devotion towards their almost but not always female love interest. They would present these pieces in a simple setting, usually one man strumming a guitar or a guitar-type instrument, lute or lyre or whatever, and singing to his beloved in an attempt to convince her of his selfless love and devotion. Occasionally, he would enlist a small band of his buddies to sing with him, but most of the time, it was one man and his plucked string instrument declaiming his love. This is another image you know quite well. Movies, TV shows, books have all depicted this moment, including most famously was it John Cusack holding a boombox above his head. You can't play a stringed instrument, you gotta do what you gotta do when you're trying to woo your beloved. Out of this arose the concept of being in love with your beloved. You have such intense feelings towards this person that you can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't remember why you came in this room, and you can't do anything at all but lie about stricken with thoughts of this beautiful person. Kind of sounds like a love song already, doesn't it? Either you'd be immobilized by your emotions or they would stir you to foolishness, like marching into battle or launching a crusade in their name, and so to prove your dedication and your devotion to them. Interestingly, though, in all of these songs, Eros doesn't seem to be a real part of this. This was selfless love and devotion, not base physical desires. Now, of course, those songs exist too, and those songs existed at the time as well, but we're not talking about the taverns and other institutions where those kind of songs flourished. We're talking about the court of Eleanor. Also, none of these pieces were about the idea of forming a long-term partnership with your beloved either. You were stricken with the mere sight of them, and you were singing of your love and devotion, not fixing meals or changing diapers. None of the ordinary aspects of life were involved, none of the practicalities of life were involved, just the chaste, pure, courtly ideal of love. Yes, that's all together. Oh. This is understandable in the context of the time. At this time, you wouldn't marry based on this idea of love. You wouldn't marry based on this kind of love. You'd marry who your parents, or your family, or your community told you to marry. Saying, but I'm not in love with this person, I'm in love with that person. It wouldn't have made any difference. In fact, it would have been ridiculous to even think about that at the time. Honestly, the concept just didn't even exist at this time, especially not among the upper classes that we're talking about. It wasn't until a few centuries, actually the last few centuries here in the West, that idea is changed. And in many places in the world now, many different cultures in the world now, this concept still exists. You marry who your family tells you to marry, and that's simply the way it is. You can marry for family connections, you can marry for strategic alliances, or even business reasons, but love virtually never enters into it. I know many of you know Fiddler on the Roof. Late in the second act, Tevye the dairyman has watched each of his 3 older daughters reject the arranged marriages set up for them and instead insist on marrying for love. This is a preposterous idea to him, living in late 19th century Anatevka, a small, mostly fictional so far as the musical is concerned, in what is now the Ukraine. The very strange idea of marrying for love is absolutely foreign to him. After all, his wife, Golda, was picked for him 25 years ago by his parents and her parents and the town matchmaker. He knows no other way. So when, as his world is falling apart, they're packing to move, to leave because the pogrom has come to their town and they are being thrown out of the town they have known for generations, he turns to his wife and asks in song, "Do you love me? Do you love me?" And at one point he says to her, "We've been through all this together, we've been through all this crazy," and she looks at him and goes, "You're crazy." And he goes, "I know, but do you love me?" It's an absolutely heartbreaking moment. Now, in many productions, and especially when you hear the song done outside of the show, it's usually played for laughs. But in the hands of a sensitive director working with good performers, it's the emotional heart of the show. This is the moment when the old world breaks and gives way to the new. So these love songs from the troubadours in 12th century France really were the models for all our love songs down through the centuries since then. And whether sung by Taylor Swift, or Elvis Presley, or Freddie Mercury, Enrico Caruso, or anybody, really, when people sing of love, they're taking part in a tradition that really was invented not quite a millennia. And as we were talking, there's different kinds of love. I'd like to invite the choir back up. We're going to sing a beautiful song, traditional tune, folk tune, and a text written by Hal Hobson after biblical sources. "If though I may speak with bravest fire and have the gift to inspire everyone, if I can do all these wonderful things, but have not love, these words are empty and meaningless. So through love, it makes all things possible." Beautiful reading Alex is going to give you, and then we're going to sing.
All right, this is Love by a username nfleshed. Love cannot be bought or sold. It does not make a profit. Love does not hide from truth. Love dives deep. Love takes on flesh. Love is queer. Love is platonic. Love is erotic. Love is asexual. Love confronts evil. Love delights in pleasure. Love touches and weeps and flirts and feeds and creates. Love is risky. Love challenges systemic evil in all its forms. Love is simple, but not easy. Love is collective. Love rises up. Love apologizes. Love believes. Love corrects. Love holds accountable. Love pays reparations. Love heals. Love tells its story. Love embraces everyone, every creature, every creation. It knows us intimately. It holds us collectively. Love transcends every boundary that seeks to confine it. It will not tolerate violence in its name. It does no harm, it only sets free.
Few more love songs for you. Lovely one from 1939. I'd like to, it's by my brain's getting ahead of itself. 1939, composer from Indiana named Hoagie Carmichael. He was playing at the Indiana University, the IU Student Union, in a place called the Frangipani Room, which I know quite well, having played in it many, many times. It's a beautiful ballroom, smallish ballroom, a little bit bigger than this room, but not by much. And during one of his set breaks, someone came up and handed a poem to him. And all it had on it was JB, and then what became mostly the text of this piece. It's mostly associated, at least in my mind, with the trumpet player and singer Chet Baker. Now, Chet was a singer, trumpet player primarily, active in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and he died in the 80s. Now, he's a very relaxed, casual style and a very good trumpet player. And so I asked my friend Kathy Medema to come up and join us with this one. We did this on a program last week, and so I figured it was a great chance to bring her up. Kathy's a wonderful retired band director from up in the Seattle-Tacoma area. I've known her for many, many years, but just recently, last couple of years, her and her wife have started coming down and spending their winters with us. And I'm
Retirement is wonderful.
very, very happy to be able to introduce her to y'all. Also, recently, tell me about it, Kathy, you and your wife Janelle were in Amsterdam and you stood outside the hotel.
Where he died, where he fell or was pushed out of that window. He was a very heavy drug user, and when I touched that plaque, I thought of this song and started arranging it for us to do at the cabaret this year. So.
And not every love song is a happy one. I get along without you very well, of course I do. except when soft rains fall and drip from leaves that I recall. The thrill of being sheltered in your arms, of course I do. But I get along without you very well. I've forgotten you just like I should. Of course I have, except to hear your name or someone's laugh that is the same. But I've forgotten you just like I should. What a guy, what a fool am I to think my breaking heart could kid the moon. What's in store? Should I phone once more? No, it's best that I stick to my tune. I get along without you very well, of course I do, except perhaps in spring. But I should never think of spring, for that would surely break my heart in two. What a guy, what a fool am I to think my breaking heart could kid the moon. What's in store? Should I phone once more? No, it's best that I stick to the tune. I get along without you very well. Of course I do, except perhaps in spring. But I should never think of spring, for that would surely break my heart in Thank you, Kathy. And we also have this incredible singer-songwriter right here in our own midst. A lovely new-ish song? Oh, still your own song this time. a song by our own Dan Oved.
It's not new, but it's new to everybody else except my family, I think. Yeah.
That's okay, we'll take it. Beautiful song called Longing for Love.
Yeah, I think I wrote this back in 1978 when I first came to Tucson. I was spending a lot of time out in Sabino Canyon in nature, and I can't remember if I wrote it just as a generic universal love or love of nature kind of song, or if I had somebody in mind. But at any rate, you'll be the first, except for my family, like I said, to hear this one, other than the people who were out there when I first wrote it, because I was outdoors. Anyway. Well, it's a story that's as old as time, strong as stone, right as rhyme. There ain't no mountain you can climb. There ain't enough gold inside that mine when you're longing for love. When you ain't got enough of that sweetness from above. When you're longing for love. Let the river rush and the robin fly through the valley lush, the bright blue sky. Let the roses blush, the breezes sigh. In the underbrush I can hear a cry. I'm longing for love. Ain't got enough of that sweetness from above. I'm longing for love. Song of the blue jay, prayer of those who pray, while the troubadour does play, ain't in nature's way. Go ask Mother Earth or Father Time for what they thirst, for what they pine. Give up your search, there's no denying. I need yours, you need mine. We're longing for love. Ain't got enough of that sweetness from above. We're longing for love. For love, we're longing for love. And thank you to Charlie, too. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan. It's wonderful to have him in the congregation, isn't it? Now he's got to run back and take back over sound duties, so thank you so much. I feel like I ought to sneak a quick advertisement in here. If any of you have any interest in joining the AV team or working in the back with Lee, go talk to them after the service. They would love, love, love. We can train, I promise. Now, lovely song, 1960, this one. It's from the longest running off-Broadway show ever. The original production started in 1960 and finally closed in 2002. after, let me get this right, 17,162 performances. And a lot of people that we know as Broadway stars and heavyweights over that last 65 years, good gravy, came through that show in one way or another. There's been revivals, it's toured, it's been in all 50 states. It's the Fantastics. And this is a beautiful song, actually one of my favorite songs from the show. The big hit song is Try to Remember the Kind of September. Beautiful song. We're not singing that one today. We're doing one called Soon It's Gonna Rain, where our two protagonists sing to each other and talk about how lovely it is and how wonderful it is to be together and to be in love.
Hear how the wind begins to whisper. See how the leaves go streaming by. Smell how the velvet rain is falling out where the fields are warm and dry. Now is the time to run inside and stay. Now is the time to find a hideaway where we can stay.
Soon it's gonna rain, I can see it. Soon it's gonna rain, I can tell. Soon it's gonna rain, what are we gonna do? Soon it's gonna rain, I can feel it. Soon it's gonna rain, I can tell. Soon it's gonna rain, what'll we do with you? We'll find 4 limbs of a tree, we'll build 4 walls and a floor, we'll bind it over with leaves and duck inside to stay. Then we'll let it rain,
we'll not feel it. Then we'll let it rain, rain pell-mell, and we'll not complain if it never stops at all. We'll live and love within our own 4 walls.
Then there's a lovely dance break. They wander around and they have this beautiful pretend castle, and it's beautiful and it's a lovely excuse to show off all the scenery, and then they come back in at the bridge.
We'll find 4 limbs of a tree, we'll build 4 walls and a floor, we'll bind it over with leaves and run inside to stay.
Soon it's gonna rain.
Come
Soon
run
it's gonna
inside,
rain.
for soon it's gonna rain. I can see it, I can feel it, run inside. And then we'll let it if it never stops at
Then
all.
we'll let it rain. Why complain? We'll live and love within our walls.
Happily we'll live and love, no cares at all. Happily we'll live and love within our castle.
This next song is in the program for a number of reasons. Number one, I couldn't resist the programming of Soon It's Gonna Rain with Here's That Rainy Day. Also, I couldn't resist the opportunity to bring back Kathy again for another go. And from a song that we did in a program just last week, and also because it's just a gorgeous song. 1953, from a Broadway show called Carnival of Flanders. I'd never heard of it either. That's okay. Song by Johnny Burke and James Van Heusen. Now, how many of you have heard of James Van Heusen? Okay, a few people. He's one of those composers who's written so many songs. In fact, I sometimes think he ties with Harold Arlen for the number of songs that everyone knows that nobody knows were written by him. Among other things, he wrote the famous Would You Like to Swing on a Star? He won the Academy Award 4 times. He won Emmy Awards. He won Grammy Awards. And in spite of writing 3 or 4 Broadway shows, he never won a Tony. This is a song, like I said, 1953. It was taken up by jazzers when it's pretty much as soon as it came out because of its very sophisticated chord changes. And it's known probably best in an arrangement by a fellow named D. Barton, who wrote for Stan Kenton. This is Stan Kenton. He wrote for the Stan Kenton Band, and he also contributed to a lovely album called Irby Green and 21 Trombones. Irby Green, the incredible trombone soloist, accompanied by a choir of trombones. It's a fabulous album if you like trombone.
Find it on YouTube, trust me, you'll
It's
love
on YouTube, yes, and there's a number of tributes by other trombonists and trombone ensembles. Here's That Rainy Day.
Maybe I should have kept those leftover dreams. Funny, but here's that rainy day. Here's that rainy day they told me about, and I laughed when I thought that it might turn out this way.
We have not a whole lot in the way of announcements today, but we do have news about our upcoming starting in March. What are we calling it this year, Deb?
We are calling it Jubilation. March is the month for our annual stewardship campaign, but we're doing that a lot differently this year. Nobody's going to come to your house and knock on your door and ask you for more money. Instead, we're inviting you to attend a series of meetings that will take place on Saturdays and Sundays throughout the month of March. And they will be celebratory in nature. Think bubbly. And at these meetings, we will be asking you questions like what it is that draws you to MVUU, but also we'll be asking you to think ahead to the future. What is the next big thing for MVUU? What do you think that we should be doing in the future? Now, most of you got, one day this week, a Sign Up Genius poll. And unfortunately, it didn't end up doing exactly what we wanted it to do. It went out to people who have pledged in the past and to new members. And if you didn't receive it, or if you would like to be added to this group, please let me know. I'll be outside on the patio after the service. And instead of doing Sign Up Genius, you can see me and I will sign you up for one of the sessions. And these sessions, there'll be 1 hour. They'll be intentionally small, 10 to 12 people, because we'd like you to have the chance to make new connections and to perhaps renew some friendships. So, month of March, and you can see me for the Sign Up Genius after the service.
Thank you, Deb. And I don't really have much of anything else to say, except outside the door here you will find our wooden bowl and woven basket. The wooden bowl is for the support of our congregation, the support of the building, the support of the people who work it, and I thank you all very much for your contributions. As well, there is the woven basket, which each month we pick a partner organization to work with, and this month it is UU Jazz, the Unitarian Universalist Justice of Arizona. Wonderful organization that Reverend Matthew has told you quite a bit about, and you can support it through the woven basket just outside these doors here. Got 2 more songs for you, and then we'll let you go for today. In the show, a chorus line near the end of the show. One of the dancers who's been talking and telling their stories has suffered an accident that they're not entirely sure, but it may be a career-ending accident. And all the other dancers get together, and while they're sitting there waiting to hear what happens and what's happening with him, Cassie steps forward and sings this gorgeous song of all the work and all the life she's given to the stage and that she's put into her dancing. She can't regret what she did for love.
Kiss today goodbye, the sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you, but I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. It's as if we always knew. And I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. Gone, love is never gone. As we travel on, love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for love. What I did for love. What I did for love. Love is never gone. As we travel on, love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for love. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for
All I can say now is usually when we decide to do a music Sunday, sit down. Usually when we decide to do a music Sunday, we plan it months in advance. When in January, Matthew said, well, you've got the last Sunday of February, I went, okay. And I thought about it. And then a whole bunch of life happened, and I forgot about it. And a couple weeks ago, he says, so how's the thing coming for the last Sunday in... Oh. And so I really want to thank the choir, all these wonderful soloists, Kathy for bringing her instruments, Dan and Charlie and Deb and everybody who took part this morning. The best thing I can say always is thank you. And I want to leave you with just one more. Then I'll let you go, I promise. I played it last week as an instrumental. Beautiful song, 1938 was when it was published. It's the last finished song by George Gershwin. He died of a brain tumor late in 1937, and his brother Ira, famous lyricist, finished it up with him, and they didn't have a verse, so Ira and Oscar Levant finished the verse, which George is going to sing for us, as well as the whole song. Originally published as Love Is Here to Stay, more commonly known as Our Love is here to stay.
One for the road. The more I read the papers, the less I comprehend the world and all its keepers and how it all will end. Nothing seems to be lasting, but that isn't our affair. We've got something permanent, I mean, in the way we care. It's very clear our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay, but our love is here to stay. Thanks.
Thank you all.